That Sword Art Online DLC? Hell no. Why would I buy that? Where's the patch to fix the game? Fix that jank combat system. Fix that. The only reason I still have the game installed is for mods. Mods, and maybe they'll fix the game. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna uninstall that game. I'm just waiting to see what the patch is. Maybe they'll do some balancing. I doubt it though. That game got 9 out of 10. It's obviously a perfect game. I still don't get how that's even possible. Even if you don't care about the gameplay, like, you saw how bad the end of that game was. That is not 9 out of 10. It doesn't even seem like you really get anything for it anyway. You get a Mystic Art and a weapon. But, I mean, you can already craft weapons that have max attack. So, really the only thing you get out of it is the skin. And if you want that badly, someone will probably make a mod for it. Even if you like the game, that does not seem worth $16. You could get the Streets 4 DLC for like half the price. Adds way more content. Charging $16 for that is a real stretch. Some people are saying they're going to make those Sword Art Online characters playable later on. I'm like, I don't even think that would be worth it. The game doesn't really have any replay value. There's a good and bad thing. It's not entirely a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. It's good that they really stepped up the side quest design. You don't have to play through the whole game like 4 times meticulously. You just play it casually and see everything, but
目標補足。あなたたちの結末はただ一つです。僕が計算した弾道から逃げられるものなどいません。それは隠れ家のつもりでたでしょうか。僕は深淵に飲み込まれろ。私の力はどう？存分に楽しむ。
What? Let me buy it. No, they did it with God Eater. They did it with God Eater too. But Namco has a license for Sword Art Online, so probably came really cheap. I just don't see how it's worth $16. I don't see how. Even if you like Tales of Arise, and you like Sword Art Online, that is not really good value DLC. One boss fight, a mystic art, and some weapon skins. That's basically what they're going to amount to, because it's a Tales game, so you have the Fel Arms, which just let you get max attack if you grind enough. So, and weapons in Arise don't have any fixes or anything, so it doesn't really have that going for it either. If there was something on there that was like game changing, I could see that being worth it. But weapons don't work like that in Arise. They're just stat sticks. Weapons and armor are just they're essentially stat sticks. I don't know, Namco's DLC planning it's so weird. It's like, you know, you'll put like DLC that's that expensive for a JRPG that everybody's already finished. And it's not the first time they've done that either. They've done that for stuff like Pirate Warriors 4, perfect example. That DLC is good. It's worth the money. But by the time it came out, you know, everybody had already finished the game, so they just wanted a reason to play it again. It wasn't terribly priced at all, especially now that it's on sale. It's even more worth buying if you haven't played the game before. But I got the deluxe edition for that game, and I got like all the achievements like in like 40 hours. I did everything there was to do in the game, and the DLC took like months to come out. It's nice that they don't like abandon their games, but I feel like they don't expand upon them in ways that make sense. And making DLC for a JRPG is already kind of a touchy subject anyway, because it's, you know, for most people, especially Arise in particular, it's like it's a one playthrough game. I mean, even people who really like the game have been complaining that the New Game Plus is kind of pointless because there's nothing exclusive to it. So to expect people to spend that much money on something they've already cleared, I don't know. It's strange. It's not really a bad thing. It's just odd. I don't think they really think through when they do DLC plans for their games. It's either too expensive or it's too little too late. The JRPGs are just hard to make DLC for in the first place. Unless you commit to expanding on the story, really all you can do is just kind of what Arise is doing. Just like random boss fights with gear. Tales games and gear just like don't mix. Ever since they started putting the alarms in those games. Like nothing they can add can be better than the fell arms. Because the fell arms are literally best in slot. You just have to grind. It took 9 months for all the characters to come out for Pirate Warriors, and to put it in perspective, most people solved that game in the first week. If you're playing casually, it took like maybe a month of playing, you know, normal person amount of hours a day. And it's still, I think if they're gonna like support their games for longer periods of time, it should be like how they do it with Xenoverse 2. There's like actual new characters and new stuff to go with it. And considering you can get that game for dirt cheap, that DLC is worth buying. If you want to play the game again, there's a lot of reasons to come back. But a lot of their other stuff is not really thought out that bad. Like the deluxe edition for Pirate Warriors 4, I regret buying it. I had fun with the game for what it was, but I paid like $90 for that, and I would have had a better deal just waiting. So I like not played the game at all. Maybe that would have been worth it. But waiting for it to come out. and it's like the Sword Art Online DLC. They're obviously working on it. Before the game was released, and get the voice actors. Even though I think the voice actor for Dorito, the guy, he already voices a character in that game. They're obviously working on it before, but I feel like the only reason it exists is because they already have the license to it, so it really doesn't cost them anything. The JRPGs are just really limiting in what you can do with DLC. Expanding the story is not always feasible, depending on how the game ends. You know, the protagonist could die, or the world fuses or something, or a bunch of the party members die. There isn't always a lot of room writing-wise, but then you're also dealing with the fact that most people only play JRPGs once. Like, if I bought that DLC for some reason, I would kill those bosses in seconds. They would die in seconds. And I'd get some weapons. It's like, well, what am I going to use this on? I already kind of solved the game. There's nothing left. It's not as easy as something like this, where, you know, you can just plop a bunch of characters in the campaign. And nothing else really needs to be done. And that's plenty. I imagine the game will have useful DLC at some point. It sold so many copies. Remember when they said that game wasn't going to have DLC? Well, I'm sure the fact that it sold 1 million copies in a week changed that shit. Be stupid to not capitalize on that as a business. Those JRPGs don't make that kind of support easy. Oh, it's the Fairy Tail game? Didn't they add DLC to that too? I know some people in my community played that game. I didn't even know that had DLC. Well, is it just like nothing to really use it on? I don't know. Maybe they'll like balance the game. They did say that there was going to be another difficulty. I don't know why you would want to do that because there's no hits done. But I do agree that it's something the game needed. There's like no way to make Chaos Mode difficult. It's basically just the same thing. But knowing Tails' difficulty, it's just going to be inflated stats. Bosses that already aren't fun to fight because they walk through everything. I'm just curious, like how much stat load are they going to do? That's all pretty much Tails' difficulty has always been. It's just the stats get inflated a lot, and numbers go up. The fun of it is supposed to be you have the battle system unlocked and you're better as a player. I won't bother with it, but I'm interested to see. Maybe they actually make some mechanics changes. I don't know. We're kind of getting away from generic hard modes. I've noticed that lately. The developers are starting to realize that unless it's like an RPG, it's not fun when everything just gets more health. You're doing the same thing for longer and you have no margin for error. Depending on the game, that could just make things really frustrating. I really like how Street 4 did it. The enemies are doubled and they're faster and they're more aggressive, but they don't have more health and they don't do more damage. It manages to not feel so unfair. I can't stand playing beat-em-ups on higher difficulties because that's all it is. The pacing just drops off a cliff, and you give everything massive health bars. It's not really even any harder, it's more exhausting. I'm glad to see more games kind of breaking away from that stereotype. Like, the only hard is make them have more health and one-shot me. And there definitely are some games where that's fun, but you can't act like it's a hard thing to implement. Remember the last difficulty for Dynasty Warriors 9 they added? It took like 5 minutes to kill one officer, and there was no reward for it either. You didn't get more experience or like drops or anything. It's like they got some intern to like change the stats, add a couple digits to it, and call it new difficulty. No one in their right mind would play on that difficulty. There's no point. Like, it's the same thing you've already been doing. you doing, Mr. Dynamite? Yeah, I beat the game on last night's kitty sitting stream. You have to beat it twice to get the enemy characters. Just trying to see if there's any other characters I like. No, this is 3. Shiva 3. I wonder if Bayonetta 3 is actually going to be good. Please don't be. No, thank you. Don't give me another game like that. The thing that sucks is that they're not going to talk about the mechanics forever. I thought the first Bayonetta had a pretty decent story. The second one was just time travel clusterfuck. It wasn't interesting to me. Well, the only thing I care about in this one is the gameplay. It really didn't show much. Had enough disappointing, dumbed-down games lately. I hope that game does not follow suit. Don't dumb the game down. That's my legitimate fear. There's been so many, like, formerly mechanics-heavy games that have gotten dumbed down new installments this year. I don't want to add another one to that list. And I'm preparing myself for that game to not deliver. Give all the basic enemies hyper armor. I mean, they kind of already did that in Bayonetta 2. Not quite hyper armor, but they walked out of everything. No, I hate that I can't get excited for new games anymore after this year. A lot of my optimism is gone. There's so many dumbed down games in a row. Some series I've been playing since like the dawn of time. It makes it really hard for me to get like blindly excited for stuff. And I know that's a good thing, but I don't get blindly excited for things and let my expectations get too high. But at the same time, I've actually got a lot of anxiety with Bayonetta 3. I have excitement for it too, of course, but I have some legitimate concern. Really hard to get excited for blindly excited for a mechanics-heavy action game for me. In Samurai 5, you had New Genesis, you had Tales of Arise. They're all dumbed down and not as good as the old games. Bayonetta 2 already did that. That's the thing. Like that already happened with that series. The second game is basically just that. Not a bad game by any means, still worth playing, but very little depth and freedom kind of went out the window. This guy is so annoying. His bursts. Still got him. This is going good so far. No miss. No miss up to level 7. Not bad. It's a good run. Good old back to the industry track. Another good track, Expander. Always pretty much gonna lose a life, either here or the room directly after this on the last level. As they have super attacks. They burst a lot too. Got that far without dying. It's not bad. That's a pretty good no miss. Yeah, that's so cheap. Just raw super. I'm pretty much always gonna lose a life here too, unless these guys, the molecule decides to cooperate. It's pretty good though. I never really beat the game with this Shiva. Adapting pretty well. Just whole encounter here is just bullshit. It's really easy for his attack to land off axis. Of course, you won't pick up the damn food. It's just not fun to fight in this version. Cheap raw supers. That's why it's hard to no miss this game. All the bosses have supers. Sometimes they just do it raw and you can't like really prevent it. Cheap ass. Fuck. Sick. That was cool. I lost track of which one I was. Get out of here. Faker. Pretty good run. Good worst. But he bursts. Can you get out of the Shadow Realm, please? Please tell me he didn't glitch. Come back. Fucking bitch, man. Get over here. Hello. GG. No matter how good I get at this game, last level is just impossible. And no death. Especially when the molecule, like he did this run, he just decided to do his super raw off screen. I couldn't hit him. And there I am in the credits. I love this game. I can't wait for the next update. That's why I've been playing this more. There's a couple people you recognize in here. There's Mr. Din, there's Dab Freak, there's Anthopants. So I did not beat my Axel time. Got close. Thing about Axel is he can do more damage than Shiva can, especially on enemies like Jet and enemies that burst. He has really easy ways to do like OTG loops and stuff. Shiva doesn't have an air special, So once he gets them in the air, I haven't really been able to find that many options with him. Let's try Shiva 2, and then it's going to be about time for me to sign off for this part of the stream. Play some DFO tonight. Do you not have a regular special? He doesn't. Oh. Well. All right. Anything else to really do? I think I'll just end it there. So I feed the cats in about 15 minutes. I'll probably start a new character on DFO tonight. I already did all the stuff on my striker. He's almost level 100. I spent a good chunk of today working on that. Probably do that, and then some Forged in Shadow Torch. So I'll see you guys usual time, hour and a half, 2 hours from now. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, you posted my donation link. Yeah, that I will need to probably raise some funds this month for Dread and other things. I guess I'll talk more about that later tonight. It's pretty much just that. Tian Ding, I think. I don't think there's anything else really coming out this month. I did kind of want to try Melty Blood, but it's like $50. I'm not sure if I'd like it more than Grid. I already bought all the shit for Grid, so I might just keep playing that. I'll have to look into Melty Blood, but right now I need to raise some funds for Dread, and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.